Huge news, Roy. The C1D Paintball team has a podcast. Yes, that's right, Dick. Wild bunch, those C1D fellas. Tune in every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for an amazing podcast.
Dad, come on.
Remember, at the end of the day, it's just a game, a game.
Hey there, Andrew. Welcome to the C1D Paintball Podcasts. That's a song which gets me in the vibe to do most anything. Courtesy of Mike, that song. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Mike, Connor, Jeff, and myself, the usual crew here for Season 3, Episode 2, overall Episode 49. So wear your tuxedos next week, gentlemen. We're going to take a go around the horn here to just meet and greet with the crew and see what they've been up to the last week. If there's any paintball breakthroughs, just a little 30-second hello to loosen our jaws before we start the jaw waggle here. That is the C1D Paintball Podcast. Jeff, and let me just say that as much as I absolutely love Spotify and listening to a podcast that's audio, the view from Jeff has been no better if you're watching this on anything with video. Jeff, you've really upped your ante with the C1D hype game with those lights and that flag. Did that take you all week to do? And is your house up to the fire code?
No, it took 2 evenings, and it is up to code. Yes. So
beautiful.
I'm good. The insurance is happy.
Looks great. Love it.
That looks amazing. You know, he's a loyal member too, that he did that to the C1D flag and not the ODST flag. So that shows how devoted he is.
Yeah.
Until we start a ODST Halo podcast, then we go with that. Mike, how has your week been? And you can see I'm setting up Connor to be the last one for some reason.
Not bad. I had a pretty good week, and here 2.5 weeks past Christmas, we just had our hopefully final Christmas dinner, Christmas get together today at my dad's house. So that was pretty nice. I got to see my sisters, who I get to see like once a year sometimes. So yeah, it was nice. No paintball related stuff happened, unfortunately. But yeah, Good times.
Connor, who lives in the same house as me, he's not my prisoner, he's my son, which means at his age I'm his prisoner.
Okay.
Oh, but I jest. How are you, young man? And how was your week?
It was good. It was very good.
It was so good that we're going to go buy some McDonald's chicken wraps after tonight's show.
Yeah, I'd love that. No, I got sick off one of them.
Oh,
I got
snack wrap.
Yeah, snack wrap.
Man,
food poisoned. So I was out the last couple of days, and really only today I started feeling a lot better. So glad to be back up on my feet. I start off the next school semester tomorrow, so it's good timing with how it timed out.
There you go.
Yeah, he was at first I thought he had the flu, and it's like, okay, this is going to ravage the house, but enough of that. We're verbal diarrhea is enough without the literal. Tonight on the podcast, because he said, what the hell are these guys going to talk about? Because usually we go every second week, and it's always after a game day, which can take up to at least a quarter, if not the entire podcast. Well, we got lots of things to talk about. And in particular, we had something that Mike presented, and it's a bunch of questions. No, was it Jeff? Did you present this, or was it Mike?
It was
me.
Okay.
Mike.
Okay. For a second, it's going to be like, hey, Jeff deserved the credit on that one. It's just some kind of cool topics that can lead to discussion, debate, whether it's whether we debate here or whether the listeners debate in that. It's just when I started to go through it, it's like, yeah, these are topics you hear a lot of. And just to like rapid fire them, I think would kind of be nice. We got a long list of these, so we could do some of them, all of them. We'll see how it goes. Like I mentioned before the show, we're doing our warm up. We're doing our like Walmart hyping up for the show. Then we played the Pink Floyd, and it was right back down to earth for me. Pink Floyd style song, rather. If we only do 2 or 3 of these, it's because we had a hell of a conversation. So we'll take turns introducing them. Connor, do you want to unveil a number one? Have you gotten the front review, or do you want me to read the first one here? You're going to need it sooner or later. Okay.
I do not have it, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
I could get it though on another device.
Okay.
You present just so I have a copy in front of me.
Okay, I'll present first here. So we'll. Okay, so overshooting is usually fear, not malice. Side A, most overshooting is panic, adrenaline, and poor awareness. It said and poor awareness. I just want you to remember that. If you keep okay, side B, if you keep shooting, you're responsible. Fear isn't an excuse. Guaranteed stories. Sorry. So overshooting is panic, adrenaline, and poor awareness versus if you keep shooting, you're responsible. Fear isn't an excuse. Connor, does anybody? I don't know. I don't know if this is universal. So, Connor, you want to throw your comments on that? Which one would you veer towards?
What up, Alpha?
Yeah,
Alpha.
So, I think the easiest thing to say, I'm going to speak for everybody. I'm going to say this is case dependent, right? Depending on how close you are. Like, I think if you're in close proximity, it's fear, but at range, it can be more malice and, more emotional rather than more of an instinct thing. But on a universal thing, because I think that's where the debate can be. I would say it's typically more side A in the sense that it's more due to panic, adrenaline, and poor awareness rather than like pure malice or your intention to harm somebody.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's situational. I mean, coming from my personal experience, like I try not to overshoot. If you watch some of my original videos when I first started playing paintball, I didn't even know that was a word. So I was shooting as fast as I could until your hand was up, or until I could see it at least. And, I learned after playing with, you guys and a lot more people that, you'd be a little more respectable. I think it's situational, at least for me, because the only reason you'll find me ever being like malicious about it or like is if someone's blatantly cheating, getting hit, not. It's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna light this dude up until he really realizes he's out because he knows. But like, I agree. It's probably mostly just panic. You know what I mean? You're just in a situation where you might have shot somebody, you might have not thought you hit him. There's still shots coming, and you're just pulling the trigger. So yeah, I think most of the time it's probably not too malicious.
Yeah, and what I think you're saying too, like when you started, I think that's a big thing with what you see like with rentals is that they shoot so much, and um, coming from like a video game background, that sounds so weird to say, but like when you're playing Call of Duty or Halo or Battlefield or whatever, you keep on pulling the trigger and shooting until you physically can't because your character dies and stuff. And so I guess you're like conditioned into that too. It's like paintball, you get hit once, you're dead generally, depending on like the rules and stuff. And so like, when you're playing paintball, if you played how many years of video games, you kind of have to unlearn that. It's like, okay, when I shoot somebody once, it's not I keep on shooting until they drop their gun and like their body crashes.
Yeah,
it's I only have to hit them once, so it's something you have to kind of unlearn too. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that was my problem when I first got into it. It's just
that's
like,
why, yeah, because I had the same thing too, where I would just keep on shooting people, and it's a thing. It's like, okay, when I'm hit, it's like I don't just stop going or until I see red on my screen. It's like, no, I get hit once, I'm dead. So yeah.
What about the vets? How do the vets think about this?
It is situational, but it's also like it's situational as in what your experience level is, what your marker is doing, how the day is going. Like usually mag fed or even just like hopper fed, the average kill had taken at least 2 to 3 shots. You get your first shot to test your range, and then you sort of aim that way because scopes are really not useful.
Yeah.
So the average person will probably get hit 2, maybe 3 times. And if you got hit on the first time, you're lucky. But sometimes depending on what you're playing with, if you're playing speedball or if you're using an EMF and you have the option for 3-round burst or full auto. I have a coworker who used to play pro, like in the early years, and he loves paintball, but he doesn't play with anyone who's rec ball because he's so geared and so wired that even though the first shot hit you, you still have 5 balls already on its way in on you.
Yeah.
Right after that. So he says he doesn't play with new players or recreational players. They don't understand that there's just even some pump players you can actually overshoot with a pump. It's possible. It's just so like it's very situational. If you just have to know when to stop pulling the trigger. Mind you, if they're not calling themselves out, you start making sure you'll hit targets on the body that they'll feel more to be encouraged to acknowledge the hit of the paintball.
Right.
Times when you think you're overshooting or they think they're being overshot, but the balls didn't break. So, okay, 20 to 30 balls would be, yeah.
That's big.
I think that's a new definition of overshooting, 20 to 30 more.
I think he might have
you're using
overshooting.
Debounce is set at. So it's not the only time it ever gets malice if the target is refusing to acknowledge the hit and it has broken. There's times you get hit a hard target on the vest or a pod pack and they don't realize it. Then you do another hard target hit on the person to make sure they got, or you actually, oh my God, call the ref for a paint check on that person, which is normally what should be done, as opposed to just, I'll make sure he goes out now. And
agree.
Like I said, Andrew?
Well, for myself, I am towards side A. Overshooting is panic, adrenaline, or it says and poor awareness or poor awareness. A noob might do it to you, especially the situation because most of the time we play it is with walk-ons and that. There is times where if you are playing more serious, I can get, like, for instance, playing in the middle of Village late in the year. I was behind one barrier and towards Zigzag by the well was, it was Gene. And when Gene has you pinned, he's like, a dog on a bone, right? And I had a guy behind me at the Green Monster, and I wanted to cover them going down. So I said, I'm going to go up and I'll pop 3 shots, go down, 2 or 3 shots. That's what I do. I'm going to do it. And it was where it was mostly experienced guys out there. It was with the bachelor party that were really good players. Some of us had to be there besides me, but it was anyway. I went up, boom, 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 went down again, and poor Gene, I got him 2 of the 3 shots, hit him in the face. But that was, had we been playing against noobs, I would not have done that. Is that overshooting? I mean, if it was a noob in that situation, I went over and popped 1.
Right.
But for me, it's like, look, overshooting is usually fear, not malice. That is the question. I don't think it's, it could be poor awareness. It can be whatever. And, and I think you can tell poor sportsmanship when it goes like that too. We used to have some double tappers on the club, but as they started to play with us more, they realized like, hey, 1's enough. It's even better. It's when my marker's down, it just frees me. Anyway. All right, Connor, would you, sorry?
Well, I lit up Connor in the head once, and it was like, what, 4 or 5 shots? Because you didn't respond, but you were frozen by something else. And the angle was that I got you part of it. I couldn't see what you're doing and going, for the love of God.
Yeah,
that's true. I trust that I'm shooting at Mike. And if I hit him, I know Mike's going to say he's out. So I guess I got to keep freaking shooting at him.
No, that's an odd angle. And I wasn't even sure I had a clear shot on him. And it's like, oh, no, my God, I'm hurt. And like, okay.
Yeah.
Next.
I assure you that's the cleanest way Connor would have said it.
Okay, I cleaned it up a bit.
There you go.
Maybe a little bit.
Come on. We can't.
And my parents were married. Thank you.
Oh. Hey, this year I have to try an entire day or at least 1 game of recording paintball where I'm not knocked out right away, that I actually don't swear. But anyway.
Ooh,
Connor, would you?
Not gonna happen.
Really? You guys would taunt me all day too, right?
Yeah.
I'll just try it. You'll notice. You'd notice with me. Anyway, Connor, would you like to bring up question number 2?
Sure thing. So question number 2 is a debate that camouflage matters less than movement. So there's 2 sides. Side A, movement discipline beats any camo pattern. And side B, good camo gives a real advantage when used correctly. And so first, I'd like to throw this off to go the other way around. I'll give this to my dad, Andrew, to answer first.
Now, I want to point out again that the topic is actually woods ball against rec ball debate.
Yeah.
Which really applies here. First of all, in my opinion, is movement beats camo in any situation. Unless you're at a situation, when we play D-Day, there's some good teams out there on both sides. So while C1D, we've had some fortune the last couple of D-Days. We lost some battles and we won a hell of a lot of them, but we're facing guys that are better than us, or at least as good as us. And even if they're not as good as us, well, there's 3 groups of them. And I think movement is absolutely key, especially when you're talking even woods ball or rec ball. Rec ball, I'll consider what we do, and sometimes camouflage. But I mean, when you say movement, there's a very key thing about movement. It's not the main thing, but it's about speed. So speed is that movement. And for people like Jeff and I who can't hustle, because Mike, don't cut yourself short. I've seen you haul ass on the field before.
Yeah, just once a day. And then
well, no, just once a day. Connor, of course, is known. Connor, you don't know what the hell he's going to do. He's either going to find the best spot far away for you, but next to you. But even me and Jeff, when we go out there, our movement is important. So, I mean, for me, the idea that good camo, real advantage when used correctly, yeah, I think it enhances it. Camo can enhance it. But, I mean, am I wearing a camo? I'm wearing the Tech T C1D shirt right now. Connor's got his shirt may look good indoors or whatever. I mean, I always take speed over it. Camouflage is a good enhancer in certain situations. In a lot of situations, camouflage doesn't mean jack.
Yeah. I mean, I'll use Connor as a perfect example. He's all, I mean, there's some of his outfit, he wears the black shirt and stuff that can be hard to see, but like bright white mask with white on his pants, and like
White
he's
sleeves.
very flashy, but you rarely see him. You rarely see him because of all those things that you said. You know what I mean? He's fast, he's smart, he's situational awareness, and he knows the maps that we play on really well and stuff. But I also think that it could be situational because of like what Chris said. He's played with somebody who, people are dressed in such good camo that they're almost getting stepped on. Like, I haven't experienced it, but I'm sure there's in big games, at D-Day and stuff, that we've gotten taken out by guys that we've never seen or never will see for the day because they're just so like hunkered down. So it's situational. In those big games, it might be more worth it to hunker down, dressed like a tree, you know what I mean, with moss on your head. But when it comes to like small games, like when we play, the rec ball and stuff, I really think, definitely movement, situational awareness is key. You can dress. There was that day where, I mean, granted, I wore my red hoodie and I was getting taken out left and right, but there was still times where if I didn't want to be seen, I wasn't seen, so it's just all in how you play, I guess.
Well, the thing with camo is that camo is meant to blend into an environment that you can't hide. Like if you have like the whole point of camo is to break up the line of sight and your shape. So like I said, in woods ball, very important if you can keep still and you can blend into the shape of the land and the shape of the trees and whatever's around you, like in Lancaster. Or like on D-Day, if you're able to keep yourself out of the line of sight of your opponent, that's what part of Connor's skill. He's fast enough to get from cover to cover that if you don't see him when he's moving, he makes sure he's not seen until he's ready to be seen or he's ready to shoot the other person.
That's why I put race car sounds in all my videos when he runs by.
Like I said, so it's like my kids used to play hide and seek in the apartment, and they've learned what the sight lines were from like me being called they are. So they would sort of like hide under the table, but lie on the chairs, but the back chair. So you're seeing the top of the table, top of the chairs. You're seeing the floor beneath the chairs, but you're not seeing
that middle. So
that little middle blind spot that they found, and every other spot they found. So it's like I said, as long as you keep out of the sight lines of your opponent, you can be as flamboyant as Connor or as camoed as the ghillie guy we saw on D-Day. I saw him only once when he ran up the hill, and that was it. I haven't seen him the entire time. I think he's still there.
Well, he didn't overheat this year. He didn't overheat this year.
No, he didn't. Like you see his half tree walking naked. What the hell? Drip down his legs. This floating top torso there.
I haven't seen it in paintball, but the airsoft videos that I see on, I forget that guy's name, the guy who just dresses in full ghillie suits.
Yeah, I seen him, and they're going,
not Dexter Hooligan. Oh no, Dexter Hooligan does it. The guy from England
or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's some serious stuff. He's good, but that's
isn't that
league.
That might be the one guy I actually know. Isn't that Silo?
Yeah.
No, not the one I'm thinking of.
No, kicking. Yeah, what you said there before.
Kicking Mustang. I feel
kicking
bad
Mustang,
if I'm saying it wrong or.
No, kicking Mustang's he's really good.
But yeah, I enjoy watching his videos out of the airsoft aspect.
Connor, I just realized something with Connor though. Connor didn't answer the question. For a guy who lives and dies on speed and has do we even have to ask him? We explained what he wears.
Yeah. Maybe.
He knows.
Okay. Well, listen. My backing behind my answer is that
your theory.
My theory, yeah, is that this is quick, but in Rainbow Six video game, there's this one season where people said it was super unplayable because every season there's like a camo pattern that's released for all the operators, so like a skin, and normally it's like either like bright orange or bright pink. And this camo, I forget for which season, but it was like green and gray, and it just blended in so well on like half the maps that people said, oh, it's pay to win. So if you had it, it was an advantage. Because if you stood in like a certain spot, you just blend in too well.
Right.
And like this is like a big thing where people said it was kind of like a problem between casual players and competitive players, because the casual players are having a hard time seeing people, but the more competitive players were like, no, it's not that much of an advantage because people are still going to go to those
Player
powerful,
placements. Yeah.
those powerful spots to get those powerful line of sights, regardless if they have the skin or not. So if you still walk into that line of sight with your marker up to take them out and you're attending to it, you know, you're thinking that there's going to be a guy there, whether they have camo or not, it's not going to make a difference.
Right.
A shot or two in the dark, it's like, ow.
Yeah, except for that. Yeah, unless you're in pitch black. But so like with that reasoning, you know, I think like, you know, movement does play a really big advantage, especially in rec ball games. It's just a matter of getting to the right spot. Just maybe not unknown, but just, not them expecting you to be there. But camo, I think, definitely does have a role in paintball, especially in woods ball, like especially in those longer games when you're out there for a while. Like the few times my dad and I have tried airsoft, like I feel like a complete idiot wearing a white mask in a forest, and like I'm just catching strays from everywhere. We're supposed to be lying down, not talking, and it's like, oh, I gave away our whole position because it doesn't matter. Where I don't know where to go, I don't know where like the best spots are to be. Me not wearing that camo is a disadvantage. It's not to say that, camo, it's like, oh, if you're not good, use camo. But like in a scenario like that, for me at least, it's like that's probably where I need it more than anything, is like a black or a green mask and camo-ish things. But yeah,
Next year, I'd like to do at least one event with Conrad and the boys, with the tourists, and we'll get goggles and the mesh mask for it. I still want to have something. It's easy to strap a GoPro on our or whatever on our heads, but yeah, we're ditching those masks for a myriad of reasons, and we'll get some stuff for that.
What about chest cams? Has anybody ever had experience with chest cams here? I don't know if the marker would be in the way.
I did it a long time ago. One of the first times I went out to record paintball, I did it at the good old LaSalle Paintball. And the problem was that it's the marker. You do a lot of stuff on your chest, and I didn't. Now you've got a GoPro, so it's got
stabilization.
Yeah, your stabilization. I mean, stabilization has been great since GoPro 7, I believe. 7 or 8. I think it's 7. Anything over 7. So it might not be too bad, but I just found the sound scratchy and it just bounced a lot. So but the thing about airsoft is I've got a boonie hat, right? And the strap you can get on the top, so I can have my boonie hat here, which is good for the fact that it's baking in the sun there.
Yeah.
I'll have the regular wraparound goggles with the mask, but no, it'll be fairly stable on top.
Miranda's got meta glasses for Christmas.
Oh,
and people have been using those under lenses, and it actually comes out very well. If there's you got your vents on the top, the little slits. I guess if the sun comes in that just right, you'll get kind of a glare off the whatever. But otherwise, you get this kind of like video game perspective. It just makes it feel a little more different, like you're kind of inside maybe a helmet or something. Well, I mean, because you are. But I think we want to try that out this year.
Pretty cool. By the way, Kicking Mustang is the airsoft sniper.
Yes.
3.24 million subscribers. He has 364 videos. Hide and seek champion. Ghillie suit addict. Look, he does serious. He's got the bolt action rifle. And it's serious. And sometimes the guys are dicks. Don't let that reflect on airsoft. It's just because he's playing super competitive. And so these guys got to know what they're getting into, because this guy's an absolute pro. And so as we go to that. All right. So Mike, would you like to, what do we got next on the list here? Number 3.
Let's see here. Oh, mercy rules do more harm than good. Mercy rules create a hesitation and get people hurt. B, mercy rules are essential for sportsmanship and safety. I mean, is that really a debate? I don't think so.
Well, is there an explanation? Not an explanation, but a definition, because it's something that's not played everywhere, right?
I kind of bend it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, like what's a mercy rule or a freeze, I guess, for us?
Well, it's different everywhere you go, but they say
Yeah.
what 10 to 15 feet, or if you're behind somebody, etc. I think most of these are going to end up being like a situational thing,
Well,
a situational debate.
yes, no. Like normally, I would consider a mercy rule anything under 5 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and if they get the drop on you either from a flank or from behind, and it's like there's no way you could have returned fire at them when they offer you the mercy, you're out. Just accept it.
Yeah.
You walk off with less paint and less welt.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a face-to-face cry of mercy, I wouldn't accept it. I'd fire or take the chance. But the point of the mercy rule is because the skill level and the equipment level is so varied across every game we play and every field you go to and whoever walks on that day. The major issue is that paintball does not want to scare away new players.
Mm-hmm.
And the mercy rule is sort of the equalizer between the veterans and the older players, the more experienced players, and the new players who are still timid, who still does paintball. First question anyone asks when I play paintball, oh, I hear it hurts. It can, if there's no mercy rule. But it's like, the adrenaline is going. You don't really feel it. It's more like a thwop.
Mm-hmm.
But the fear of getting hit is always worse than the actual hit. And once they get past that point, then they're much more liberated to play and they're not so fearful. If you're playing for the first time and someone dings you at 5 feet away with a marker, like anything that the TMC or the EMF or a 98, you're going to feel it, and it's going to be a negative impact on them. Like even when we were at Warzone and we were playing, we had the birthday party or the hockey party, watching us from the observation. They asked, "Does it hurt?" Because they were playing Jelly Ball or playing Low, and we're going, "No, it doesn't hurt. It's like it's the same as what you were just been playing with, before." So there's like I said, they're looking at us playing. They see the equipment, they're intrigued, they're interested, but there's still that fear and the stigma of paintball being painful.
Look, I told those kids the best way. What did I answer when they said that? They asked, "Does it hurt?" What did I say?
Don't get hit.
Yeah, there you go.
Come and find out. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
Get down here and find out.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Jeff. In our situations, we play with walk-ins most time. It's a tool.
It's a tool that's used by fields to ensure everyone has a fair chance to experience the game or the sport, whatever you want to call it, without any type of inhibition or fear. Because as soon as you're already afraid, it's like someone let's go swimming. I can't swim. I'm afraid of drowning. You have to get them comfortable with it. Once they understand the dynamics of the game and the dynamics of how the paintball works and how not every shot will take your head off, then they'll enjoy it, and then they'll want to come back and get their own equipment, and we've got another one. So it's a tool. It doesn't ruin it preserves the sport. It's a tool to help preserve the sport and to bring more people into the sport, and not feed it a stereotype and the fear. Like between the overshooting and the mercy rule, these are the two major things that we can control as players and fields to ensure that new players are not intimidated or driven away.
Yeah, I don't think. Does anyone else have an opinion on this? Connor, Mike, you gave a little bit. Either you have. I think this is
obviously, yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. I was gonna just bend the question a little bit because it does not that people get hurt or it creates hesitation, but more like frustration. It can cause some frustration in my eyes. I've gotten frozen where it's like I will put this down. I've never gotten frozen, and even if I thought it was too far or unfair, and I've never shot back. I've always just been like, okay, and then I walk away, kind of mumbling under my breath, like, "Oh, it's bullshit," like annoying. So it can create frustration in a sense of was that really a freeze? Did this guy came around the corner? I didn't even have enough time to react. Maybe I had enough time to react,
I have
etc. So that's the only thing I can see on the opposing side, but I wouldn't disagree with it being needed for all those reasons that Jeff said. Like, obviously, it's essential. Yeah, it's
like I said,
sportsmanship, safety.
but I have a real life experience story about that. I was with friends who I used to play with, and we before their lives got involved and whatnot. Their kids are younger than mine, so a different time frame. We were playing at Action 500 in Laval, indoor field.
Closed now. Closed now. The Laval one is closed. Yeah.
Scorpion is closed. Laval is closed.
Mm-hmm. The really sandy one, like the muddy sandy one.
Yeah. Well, it was more like a, I don't know, like a foam,
like a glue.
It was like sponge. I think gymnasts could train on that, not worry about hurting themselves.
Yeah. So the point is that they had a short bus in the field, and one of my friends was covering fire from the bus, but the back door has been removed from the bus. And another friend of ours is literally not at the doorway of the bus, not in the bus, a good 40 feet behind the bus, lying down like, freeze! My friend turns, F you, and takes him out. It's not like 5 feet. Literally, it was as if he called freeze. You're at the where White House would have been as your spawn.
Yeah.
And he's at Stonehenge and calling freeze on you from that distance. Like,
yeah, I would be laughing and shooting too.
Exactly. Like, it was just the pivot and F you and took him. And the guy who called freeze was so upset. I called freeze on you, but I said, but we're going. That rule, like I said, has to be clear. Is like within 5 feet or point blank, or you're like behind the guy, and there's no way. But if you're 40, there was no guarantee his shot was even going to make it to hit the person in the bus.
Yeah, that's absurd. Yeah, see, that's where the frustration comes out of.
That's where it has to be, clear, like stated and whatnot. So
yeah.
Here's a side quest for you, and I love it when this happens. You guys were there in games like this we played. I remember in White House there was a noob left there, and it was at least 3 of us experienced players running up on it, and it's like. Yeah, so look, buddy, there's 3 of us. There's one of you. You can make this real easy if you just call your hit and, the inevitable. Part of me wants them to say no.
Just come out guns blazing.
But it's like, dude, you really don't want to do this.
Hello, my little friend.
Yeah, I've done it. I mean, have we all done this before? Connor, I know you've done it. And I do it too, where it's like, okay, I'm screwed. Okay, hit, I'm out. I give up. Everybody's done that, right?
Oh, I don't think I've ever done that. I try to fight till my last breath or my last bullet. Yeah.
Well, see, that's why you may not make it as long as Jeff and I have.
Probably not.
Oh no, don't say that. That's a joke.
I called freeze on a guy. I was on his right flank. He came in, young player. I gave him a chance to surrender. He panicked and shot me in the mask. And I'm going, fair enough. He refused to decline the freeze and got the shot off on me. So next time, back of the head.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hunt him down. It was a legitimate. It went, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Well, technically, you got me first, so you're still in. I'm out.
Okay. Point number 4, and I believe Jeff, it's your turn to present.
Oh, now it shuts down on me.
Now it shut down on you. Shoot, we're already at 40 minutes. I told you this is going to be fun.
Okay. Great ethical debate. One life games create better players. A. One life enforces discipline, awareness, and honesty. Or B. Respawn games are better for learning and enjoyment. Split vets versus.
There we go. Who's going to talk first? I don't. Last time we kind of all gave in. Mike, do you want to start for comment on this one first?
Sure.
Because this one I think could be a pretty good one.
When I started playing paintball, everywhere I went was respawn games. I don't know if it made me a better player, but I guess it gave me more field time, which would, I guess, equivalent to more, the more field time you have, it's like the more practice. If you're going out there and getting shot at the beginning of each game and just having to wait, whatever. But once I started playing with you guys and at Warzone and stuff, when we started playing the one life games, I think it did personally make me a better player as far as moving around the field and not wanting to get shot, because obviously you only have one life, so it's like you don't want to be sitting there watching the games all day. But I don't know. I think that one life games definitely would create a better player, overall rounded. Because I mean, if you're just out there respawning, you don't really care about dying. You don't really care about covering. You might just run out there to take 3-4 people out before you get taken out, and then go back and do it again. That's not really going to make you a better player. It might make you a better shooter, but that's not what being a overall rounded good player is.
Connor, your thoughts?
For this, I would
Life
want
games.
to create a side C, perspective C.
We didn't make any rules.
I
for this.
think
You
I
can do
think-
whatever you want.
No,
Answer the
I
question.
think I know where this is going.
I think that limited respawns creates the best players.
Mhm.
Because I think the whole thing with respawn, whatever, like infinite respawns is pretty, I don't know, like it's like what Mike said, is you're not really learning much. You can learn, how to shoot your marker and stuff, but you're not learning, how to really engage as a team, or, how to work as
Unless
a
you're
team,
playing foosball.
utilize cover.
No, it's
Yeah.
true. If you're playing foosball, but that's the only game type I can imagine.
But then I feel like a one life, it's
Johnny.
like you're too scared to use your one life and to get taken out, that you're not going to learn anything new.
Mm.
So because I feel like when you have those, well, you can still learn new stuff, but like in my experience, at least, maybe it's just my personality, is I'm not as brave as you guys think I am, is that
Oh, well, you're a coward.
in these limited respawn games, how I learn to run up the spots is because I'll do it in my first life, because I know, okay, if I'm out once, I can respawn one more time, then I can play safe. I'll run up somewhere and it's like, okay, I can actually get up here in future games, knowing that I got there safe, and that all happened because I knew if I ran up there and I wouldn't gotten taken out, I would have respawned. And it helps me learn. It makes me do more bold things that I probably would have done in the one life thing, where I'm more, I'm very conscientious that, okay, we're 5 people. If I die once, we're on a 5v4. I don't want our team to be down. I'm paranoid of getting taken out. I want to help the team, but I'm just so, I don't know. I feel like it can be really like a personality sort of thing. But for me, I guess that's my best when it's not infinite and it's not one.
Infinite seems like a
round,
good.
it's closer to one respawn, I guess.
I have a counterpoint to your view.
Yeah.
Get him,
One
Jeff.
respawn, okay, fine, I'm okay with that. But the thing is that it's based on your experience. You started playing paintball indoors at LaSalle at Army Globe, and I played that for very often. And the
Don't
thing
forget
is,
Arnold's.
Tombstone. You want to go back further?
It was. It starts at Tombstone, asshole. I know this one.
Got him.
I didn't play
No,
there, but I know that one.
But what I mean is that both you and your father started at LaSalle, and it's a very fish in a barrel kind of field. Like you have many angles, and so it's very easy to get taken out in your first round or your first life, and then you sort of realize where the angles are. If you started playing outdoors or started playing in a larger field, the initial kill ratio on the break is not as high as it is indoor as it is outdoor. So you have a little bit more time to approach the field and get an idea of where the flow is going, as opposed to in LaSalle, where it's like breaking. If you don't get behind a wall, you're getting taken out.
Mm.
If it's going north-south from the saloon to the mountain, or to the
East-west.
church, east-west, like it's especially if they have both floors open, you have shots coming from everywhere, and there's nowhere for you to pause and take in the game and figure out what the flow is going. It's going to be constant cover fire. So in that situation, 2 or 3 respawns makes perfect sense. So like I said, the other thing about respawn is that okay, one respawn is acceptable for a regular, team deathmatch or whatever. But if the scenario gives a better advantage or a better cover to one team than the other, they require the respawns to actually make any progress on the objective.
Yeah.
So it's partly situational, but I can see where saying more time spent, like I think it was Explorer Paintball said Chris, who had said more time behind the gun gives you more time to learn. And I agree with that. And just like I said, it's you learn from your mistakes. And if you know you only have one life, you can be much more careful and learn much quicker from your previous mistake than I still got a spare thing in my back pocket. I still got a med kit. I still got it's like
Get out of jail free card.
the more chances you have to respond, the braver you are, and the more chances you take that would normally you wouldn't take if you only had one spawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think you're right with that for sure. And like the whole thing of playing indoors definitely is a big thing. That's for sure. The more I think about it.
Who's reading the next one?
I didn't give my opinion.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I didn't give my
I
opinion on the
opinion.
last question, so we're skipping you. Dun, dun. Okay.
Connor's right about, look, one spawn enforces discipline, awareness, and honesty. No. Awareness, yes. Discipline, yes. And it's good to learn how to play both of these styles. Honesty, no. I think if you've got multiple spawns, you're more likely to go back and say whatever. Respawn games are better for learning enjoyment. Not unlimited. The only thing I can think of that I like unlimited is like foosball. Unlimited lives is unless you're doing something like you're playing attack defend where the attackers have unlimited lives and you have a time thing. The best situation is where you have two, or this is what I like to do. And remember, I'm usually always thinking about our walk-in game days with C1D. Remember when a game's about to start and whichever ref is there, they're saying, okay, it's a team deathmatch and it's about to start. How many times you've heard me do this a few times, scream out, hey, can we have 2 lives? And all of a sudden, oh, now you got to change the strategy. And that's where Connor might go, okay, holy cow, okay, it's 2 lives. So you decide, okay, I'm going to right away. You have to make that decision. You get with a few guys because you literally have seconds. Okay, you know what? I'm going to run like hell and throw caution to the wind. Or you would say, hey guys, let's camp here. Let's wait and wither out their lives. I like doing, and I think two revive. I think 1 revive, so 2 lives is ideal on a lot of situations. I think it's redundant on team deathmatch, but capture the flag. It's something like that. And by the way, I think the best form of revives in a game that we play the most, because there is a debate whether you should have revives and you get tired of it, is kill confirmed. It's basically the same thing and with the compromise on it. So I think, I don't go A or B. I'm with Connor as C, like limited revives. You'll be able to be more dynamic. You'll be a little better in a lot of different situations. That being said, one life will make you an expert on preserving your life, but I just think you can get more rounded in that. I told you this is going to be a great topic. We're already almost at 50 minutes, so maybe we'll do this number 5, see how maybe squeeze a couple in.
On the respawn, though.
Yeah.
When you have 1 or 2 respawns, it's a catch-22 because if there's 2 respawns, right, we know Connor's running from 1 all the way around 3 to get to 4. If he gets there, he'll take somebody out. If he dies, he'll go back and recon. So you now know that he's seen you and you have to change up. So it's one of those, do we spend that 1 respawn to send somebody out to find out where everybody is? And we do the exact same thing and we just, so it's
what's
predictable yet.
That's it.
It's a strategy. Everything's
that is huge with Jeff. And Jeff, by the way, I've faced a lot of situations. Connor, I faced a lot of situations where you're on the other team and Jeff or somebody, or even I will be the one to say that there's 2 lives here. Could you imagine? Okay. Capture the flag on market. Okay, on market. Connor's not crazy enough. Connor is not crazy enough to do capture the flag on village, but if it's on market and it's capture the flag and there's 2 lives, you can bet your mortgage there's a good chance Connor's going to go for it. And I'll say something like that. When I play against you, Connor, and what I was going to say, what Jeff, myself, and other people brought up is clearly Connor's going to run for it because he's going to say, screw it, catch us off guard. Every time we defend in that situation, you don't.
He sends in Trent.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Trent, go.
Okay.
Okay.
We're
One
going to
quick
try
thing. One
quick thing.
that
Sure.
Chris mentioned it before in the chat a few minutes ago. I can't pull up
Cool.
the question word per word, but I can't remember whose comment it was just now, whether it was my dad or Jeff. But the thing I don't like the most about the one respawn is I just hate how slow the games are.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be like
Yeah.
Apex Legends or whatever, where it's like the super fast FPS game where people are, whatever crazy. But I feel like, if you have this respawn mode where it's even just one life respawn. Yeah, one life games tend to be slower sometimes. So like, I feel like we have some games where I think it's good to have a one life as, warm up, but there might be some games later in the day where it just feels like neither side's moving because they know it's like, okay, they're waiting for us. We're waiting for them. If we make a push and we die, it's over. It's like all or nothing. And so what's the point of even moving? And I've had times too where I've been scared to push up in these last minute things where it's like, say village, like a one-on-one. I know somebody's in a building and I'm scared to move in on them. But knowing I don't even have to be attentive to their lives, like if they have a respawn or not. But just knowing that I have a respawn, I'm more willing to go into that building and get close quarters where I'm really, really nervous, knowing that if I'm out, I have another crack as I can walk back, then sprint back. I'll know that person's still in that general area. Compared to if I didn't have a respawn, I'd probably just wait until they came out. And the game would just last way too long. And so I feel like having that chance to go in builds confidence in myself as a player for those things where I do have only one respawn. That I have more trust in my ability. And so I feel like it helps with that learning for sure.
And you learn very fast that if I take you out, I know you're going back to your spawn. I'm adjusting my position to take you out of the doorway.
Exactly.
I know where you're going.
But you know what? But if he takes his time, poking out of there again, he's keeping you occupied, and his teammates have one less guy to worry about for X amount of seconds. So there's nothing wrong with that.
If he's not there and he's not coming out, I move on to the next and let my teammate worry about him.
There you go. You're feisty tonight, Jeff. I like that.
Oh my God. He's gonna bite. All right.
Okay, look,
Connor gets to read this one.
Well, we've done the four. This could be a long one. This could be a long one. Yeah.
No, we're not.
By the way, okay, I want to present one twist on what we just talked about. Imagine a game where, let's say, everybody has one respawn, or everybody has zero. You have an extra respawn. You can say, okay, everybody's got one respawn, but one of your guys has two respawns. Pick who it is. Or do something like that. A little variance on it, But anyway,
the golden boy.
The golden boy.
And you don't know who the other team doesn't know who it is.
Golden boy. There we go. You got a name for it already. Okay, so Connor, you are going to read the last one. This is the last one we're going to do for now. We're going to run a little over an hour, but that's no problem because we got all kinds of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we'll have to excuse the people in the next time slot at 8:30.
Yeah, it's like overtime. You're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
You got to watch. Yeah, it's like watching
going to be
some
infomercial things, so it's okay. We're good.
Slap chop.
Somebody's knocking on the producer window right now.
Yeah.
6 more minutes.
Connor,
right.
number 5.
So the question. Hoppers ruin the woods ball experience. Side A. Volume of fire kills immersion and tactics. While side B says firepower doesn't ruin woods ball. Bad players do.
Mm-hmm.
So
can I be the first on this, or do you want to comment on it first, Connor?
I think we can go counterclockwise for this.
Okay. Everybody listening on Spotify is confused now. Hopper ruins the woods ball experience. Volume of fire kills immersion. And tactics versus firepower doesn't ruin. Firepower does not ruin woods ball. Bad players do. You know what? I'm not going to talk about what ruins woods ball, but it isn't hoppers. There's different weapons you can use. You can use a sniper. I remember, I mean, because we play rec ball, not really woods ball, although we do have some woods in that. But if you're looking at a field like D-Day, I know that's a big game, but here's the thing. Guys with TMC, whether you have a hopper or you got a mag fed, yes, you've only got a certain amount of magazines, but your rate of fire is generally the same. For me, it's just like having X rifle. You got a Browning, you got to reload it. Speedball markers, those are your choices. You like running that way. I can shoot my paintball marker, mag fed, much better, much more accurate than a hopper. That's a fact. I don't know why, but it's a fact. I hit more things when I've got the magazine. So I'm choosing that. I should be more accurate. I look at speedball markers on the field. They're like artillery. As long as it's divided evenly. I referred that last year for Michelangelo and his buddies. Guys, you be our artillery. We got a lot of guys that got speedball markers over the end of the season that are going to add to our artillery presence in especially, I mean, face it, besides the town, you're talking about D-Day's a forest battle. So I think, hoppers do not ruin the woods ball experience. It ruins a mag-fed experience if that's what you think you're getting into. But as long as it's divided up evenly and you take in consideration speedball marker versus Cronus, I mean, no, it does not ruin the experience. And Jeff?
It's like people it ruins the wood ball experience. The wood ball experience has always been hopper. Like it's where the sport began. We had every conceivable type of container. Like I have something that got modified, and it has the cap from the old 35 millimeter film cap on it to keep the paintballs in. It's like there are always many different ways to carry paint and to feed paint into your marker. So like to say one specific part of the equipment or one aspect of the equipment ruins the experience of paintball in the woods. No, that's not true. That's just a cop out saying they want if you want to go mill sim, that's a totally different animal. And I can understand people saying only mag fed and whatnot. But even then, it's the sport evolved from hopper fed and even tube fed for pump, and finding a way to carry enough paint and to make the game interesting without everyone stopping 5 minutes to find reloads or to. So it's just an evolution of equipment and what you're happy with. Like Jared uses a TMC with a hopper. I use a TMC with a mag. It's all about your preference and whether or not you want to keep counting balls or not. The game is don't get hit with a paintball. That's the basis of the game is do not get hit. And regardless of what you put on your marker and regardless of how fast you're shooting or how many balls you're firing down the field, it's still the same thing. So it's a moot point. Like it doesn't like woods ball is like if you want to go stealthy and whatnot, that's fine. If you're going to be running through the balls, are going to rattle in your hopper. The balls are going to rattle in your pod. If you have magazines, that's what you're quieter, but you're still making noise going through the woods. It's like what is it that you get that makes you happy playing paintball, and that's where it is. If the hopper bothers you so much, don't use one. But don't say another person can't use it because the equipment is expensive. It's an expensive hobby, and there are those who are just starting out. Like when I first started out, the old 98. 980 is still working. The thing is over 20 years old. Mm-hmm. Slap a hopper on it, put some grease through it. Never failed. Got run over by a dump truck. Still works.
Beautiful.
So it's like, it's what you bring to the game. It's what you bring to the sport. It's what you bring to the field that decides whether or not something will ruin the game or ruin the day for you or not. don't blame your equipment. It's a poor.
No, that's it's shitty paint. Shitty paint will ruin the day.
Okay, the paint that's the manufacturer.
Yeah.
But
I
overall,
agree with everything Jeff said. It's like most people when they start out, I mean, you're gonna start with a hopper. I mean, there's not many people unless that start out right in the mag fed game or a pump. You know what I mean? Most people get a budget paintball gun with a hopper on it, and they go out a few times. And it's when you get better and you want to challenge yourself more that you're like, okay, I want to go from this to this or whatever, and then eventually you end up shooting a pump that has 10 things in it. But like Jeff said, you can't get mad at someone for using the hopper regardless of how they're using it, whether they're using it they're just using it like as a new player or they're using it respectfully. Like Connor, I watch his videos or on his footage just through Andrew's videos, and it's like sometimes I find myself counting like and like what would it be like if he had a mag in there, and he I've never seen him just shoot 20 round 25 you know what I mean. He's very respectable with that. But it's like if you challenge yourself to use something like a pump, why would you're challenging yourself for that? Like, why would you expect everyone else to stoop to your level? Whatever. It's just like, yeah, it doesn't ruin the experience. If you're using something else besides a hopper, like I said, it's because you want to challenge yourself, you want to do something different, yada yada yada. But don't, like Jeff said, don't change anyone else's way of wanting to play paintball just for your own. It's a little selfish, I guess. The question would be a little selfish if you were on the opposite side of that.
Connor, your thoughts, the last comments for the show before we sign off here, sir, on a topic where you've already been exonerated.
Yeah. No, I think everybody said it all very well, different, all agreeing with each other, but all different like points and stuff. For this, like the whole thing of like, firepower doesn't ruin woods ball, bad players do. And, like a bad player in this sense, it's, I don't think it's, that they're bad at the game. I think, that they're bad sports.
Yeah.
And stuff, because I've had times where I've died to speedball players and stuff, and I'm upset after. And I've died to speedball player. Other times I've died to speedball players, and I haven't been upset after, even though they're both using very similar markers and it can be the same field. And the difference is like how they're using it. And so there's a difference between getting absolutely like like bunkered, where it's like, okay, you might only have whatever 80 100 shots in your hopper, however much it is. I'm not good at that, compared to speedball where they can put out a fifth of your hopper out in a second. Lacing you every single time your elbow pops out, and when you try to whatever, and when you die from that, it's probably a little annoying. But doesn't break immersion? I don't think so, because if you're looking for this full immersion thing, unless you're trying to go you're in like the Napoleonic Wars where everybody is like a musket, where you have one shot and everybody has to reload. World War I even, everybody's using bolt action, and you might go over the trench and you might see an MG42 or whatever, not even MG42, an MG08. And it's like, this thing's heavy and this thing like destroys you and stuff. So I think it doesn't ruin the immersion at all to see speedballs and stuff. Is it unrealistic that that they should have this much firepower and be this mobile? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a talented speedball player, they won't be they'll still be hunkered up like they're like on a heavy turret or something. And so I don't think it ruins really anything. It's really how they're using it. So because I've seen people using any type of marker where they can be a butt and ruin it no matter what they're using, whether it's first strike, whether it's hopper, whether it's pump, whether it's mag fed or speedball. So
well, Connor, I just want to balling for boobies, Connor. I know you weren't on automatic, but You're getting the trigger went a few times.
Walking
You're
the trigger
getting the
going.
fucking hang of that, my
It's
friend.
hard
Look,
not
you
to
had-
do though when you first
I
get
didn't
in
though.
one.
I didn't do it a
It's hard.
single
No, you did-
time.
no, just a couple
No.
of times you were throwing.
No,
threw
I
cover?
didn't. I didn't. I
You were
made sure.
anyway.
I was only
Yeah.
using one finger to shoot. I'm never doing this. That's
never
a
doing
word
that?
I won't say on live.
What if
I
ketchup's
know
on the
you
other
might
end of
ask
your?
something else,
What if
but
ketchup's
anyway.
in the field?
Oh,
But-
we're lighting ketchup up.
We're letting
Dual
ketchup up.
finger.
I don't know. I like to live by the golden rule: to treat others how I want to be treated.
Yeah,
like-
unless you're dressed like
So
a
we
ketchup
had
up.
like 2.5.
Unless they're dressed
people
up like a
shooting
ketchup
us
packet.
next, walking like, at bowling for boobies. It's like, where'd you get that?
Yeah.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. That if I'm a dick to somebody and they lace me upside the head, I earned it. So yeah. So thanks for listening. Okay, so that was 5 questions. There's at least 10 more that could be. We're not going to do this every episode, but I think it's kind of a fun one, thought-provoking. And I want to thank Connor. I want to thank Mike. I want to thank Jeff. I want to thank, we had Explorer Chris in here. We also had the man, the myth, the legend, Alpha. It's the off season. We're thinking bigger and better things, planning for the next season. Listen to stuff we talk about. We will have shows where we talk about game types and that. Maybe it's something you'll learn a little bit about. Maybe you'll tell us a twist about it. It's all about enjoying our corner of the your own corner of the paintball world. We're discussing ours. I enjoy hearing it from everyone else. Ketchup is the only overshooting. Overshooting is 100% okay. There we go. We're going to add that question to ketchup. We already know the answer for the next one. Thank you for that, Chris. Thanks for listening. We can be subscribed to at a whole myriad of places. But the one thing you have to remember, well, I should say it. There we got Spotify. We have Facebook. We have YouTube. You name it, we got it.
We have Twitch.
We have Twitch. We do.
Yeah,
have
we're
Big
on
Taffy.
Twitch. Yeah.
We have Twitch, which we should segue one night into a Battlefield game, but I digress. Go out there, have fun. Because remember, at the end of the day, it is just a game.
C1D Paintball Media.